All right, so this is why I need you to pay very, very keen attention to what we are going to be discussing in this session because your resume is as important as you getting a job. So it's important that you put in the required work, right? So now let's look at the types of resume, right? We have 6 different types of resume, and the first one is what we call the chronological resume. Now, this is the most common resume format that most people use. The format allows you to list your work experiences in reverse chronological order, starting with the recent jobs. If you have prepared the resume before, you know that once you want to list your work experience, you begin from the most recent, right? So that type of resume, when you begin, there's not one type of resume that you begin from the most recent or from the most recent or the current one you are on now. The other stages where you reverse is the case, right? But the chronological resume is the type where you begin like that. Then we have what we call the functional resume. Now, in the functional resume, you place emphasis on your skills and achievements rather than your work history. In chronological resume, you place emphasis on the work you have done. In functional resume, you place emphasis on your skills and your achievements. I have this skill, I have used this skill to achieve this. I know how to do this. Because I know how to do this, I've been able to do this and this. You understand? So that's what we call a functional resume. So you don't really care about how many places you have worked. You care about what you have been able to do. You understand? Usually used by career changers or those with limited work experience. So if you have a limited work experience, this is the type of CV you need. You need a functional resume that emphasizes on your achievement rather than your work experience. If you have a very long work experience, of course, you can go for the chronological resume where you start dating your work experiences from now to 10 years ago or 15 years ago. But if you don't have that much of experience and that much of work history, you want to do a functional resume where you focus on the skills. What are the skills you have? And what are the things you have been able to achieve? Then the third type of resume is what we call the hybrid resume. The hybrid resume uses elements of both chronological and functional resume to highlight both work history and acquire skills and relevant order. Now, the hybrid tool is also a beautiful idea. Assuming you have the combo of two, you have made some achievements and you have a very long history of work, you can use the hybrid because in the hybrid you're able to do the two at the same time. You place emphasis on your long work history and also at the same time placing emphasis on your skills and your achievements. Then number 4 is what targeted resume. Now, a targeted resume is a kind of resume tailored to a specific job opening or company by emphasizing only qualifications and experiences relevant to the job requirement. Targeted resume, tailored resume, right? Now, they will mean the same thing. A targeted resume or a tailored resume is a resume that you prepare for that particular work, for that particular job that you are applying for. This is very, very important because you don't want to submit a general CV for many of the job openings that you come across. So you want to tailor it, you want to slim down some things, cut down on some things, emphasize on some things more than the others because of the job requirement. Now, here's what you need to know. Before you write a CV or a resume for a particular job, you need to go through the job requirements. Go through the job advert, read every possible detail that you need to read about that job and also about the company. I've come across people who want to prepare a resume to apply for a job and they can't even remember the job title, or they can't even remember the rules of the job. They can't even remember the requirements for the job, the qualification for the job. They can't remember it. They can't even remember the company that they want to apply the job for because they just saw the opening and then they are rushing to come and do CV. That's not the proper way to do. You go through it critically, right? There is something called ATS, applicant tracking system, right? There is something also we call keywords in the preparation of your CV. Maybe we are going to discuss it as we move on. But what I need you to understand is, you need to, if the company you are applying to is using the ATS, and you don't match your keywords with the exact words they use in advertising the job, you are likely not to get invited for an interview, even though you are qualified. Why? Because your keywords does not match. ATS uses keywords, so you have to go through the job description, the job requirements, the description, every detail that is there, and you have to put it there. So that is what we call a target resume. The next is the creative resume. Creative resumes are for graphic designers, artists, all these people that are into the creative industry, right? Sometimes I like some of their works and all that. Then we have what we call the curriculum vitae, commonly known as CV. Of course, in this modern time, we usually interchange the two CV, but the full name is curriculum vitae. Now, it's much longer and it's more academic than your resume. It tends to include exhaustive list of awards, competitions, research, and all of these academic, terms and achievements and all that. So that is for your resume. Now let's look at the sections of the resume. What are the sections of the resume? Now, number one is the contact and information section, and also what we call the objective and the header. So the header contains all of these things we just spoke about now: your contact information, your name, your phone number, your email, and then your career objective and all that. You understand? And some people believe that career objective should be there, but it depends on what the job requirement is. So you just look at it and go by it. The next education and training/certifications. You want to include your education, you want to include your trainings, your other trainings and other certifications. Now, your education now refers to most of the formal educations that you have gone through. You understand, your university degrees and any other degree that you have acquired after that. I don't see the relevance of primary school certificate as secondary school. Some companies still require it, so you can put your secondary school there for them. But for primary school, I don't think it's necessary. You can do whatever you think is appropriate for the company you are applying to. And then you talk about other trainings. You are taking some courses online, such as some of the courses you have at Human Resources. You put them there. If you are a graduate with 2 years back, which means you have graduated, you have spent 2 years since you graduated from school, you need to have at least 10 other trainings and certifications. Very, very good, right? You see in your resume. The next is work experience and accomplishment. Where have you worked and what have you accomplished? You see, a lot of people place emphasis on the work where they have worked. They forget that what the panel is looking for, what the hiring manager is looking for, is what you achieved in the place where you worked, not how long you worked and not the roles you did. No, we are interested in what you achieved in that company with your role. So you want to focus on your achievement, right? The next is skills and certifications. I've mentioned certifications earlier. You also want to measure your skills, hard skills, soft skills, and then your core competence and hobbies. Well, hobbies, not very, very necessary, but if you think it's necessary, you can do the thing. But then your core competence, it is important to take a deep dive into your core competence. Then voluntary work and leadership experience. Yes, you can also want to include your volunteering work and your leadership experience. Now, what are some of the things? I want to give you some tips on how to design your resume. And the first tip is to use clear and easy to read fonts such as Times New Roman or Arial. If you are typing your resume using Microsoft Word, you want to use Times New Roman. Now, there are a family of fonts that we call the serif fonts. So you want to focus on those family of fonts that falls under the serif, right? So it's good to make sure that the write-up is clean, easy to read. The next is keep the formatting consistent throughout the work. So as a write-up there, including the fonts, the spacing, the margins, make sure the margins are uniform. Make sure everything is uniform and that the formatting is consistent. If you are bolding headings, make sure that all headings are bolded all through. If you're underlining, make sure that whatever it is you're underlining, similar categories of text are also underlined all through. Then you want to use bullet points, to break up long paragraphs. We don't want long paragraphs in reasoning. Reasoning is something that somebody should be able to look up within a minute. Somebody should be able to look up the reasoning within a minute. If you go and start writing long paragraphs, it makes it difficult. So you want to use bullet points, to break down your paragraphs, and then also improve your productivity. Then don't use too many colors or graphics and other distracting elements. Don't use too many colors. It's not necessary. Black and white is fine. Three colors is fine. Then make sure to use the resume. Make sure that the resume is well organized with the most relevant information at the top. Make sure that your resumes have the most relevant information at the top. The most relevant information at the top. Again, the most relevant information at the top. Put all the information that you know are critical. Don't go and hide it at the bottom. Like I said, you want to be able to use the minute to squint through your resume. So don't go and put the relevant information at the back. Put them at the front. You understand? Then include keywords from the job posting. I've mentioned this earlier and I'm mentioning it again. Ensure to extract keywords from the job advert. Pick some words from the job advert and incorporate them into your resume. Next is to keep the resume concise and focused. Make sure that it is concise and focused, not more than 1 or 2 pages. 1 minute you want to read your CV. So you don't read 3, 4, 5 pages. Just highest, maximum 2 pages. If you reduce it to a page, it's also fine. Then proofread the document carefully for grammar or spelling errors. Don't submit. You can't. Don't fall into that temptation of submitting your resume in case. Read it. Make sure there are no grammatical issues. Then seek feedback from friends and industry experts before submitting it. If you have people that can give you feedback, that can criticize what you have done, give them your CV, let them criticize it for you. Then review the job description and take note of any keywords and skills mentioned. I've mentioned this earlier. Then use the same terminology in highlighting your skills or experience. Very good. Once you have gotten the keywords, use those keywords to highlight your skills and experiences. Then include specific achievements or accomplishments or certifications that match the job description. Very, very important. Include trainings and certifications that match the job description. When you include training and certifications that does not match the job description. So the same thing for your achievement. Don't go and put achievement that is totally outside the job description. So put achievement that is within the job description. Then next is to use action words such as develop, streamline, lay, organize, and the others. So you want to use action words when you are writing your CV. Then avoid falsification by all means. Don't be insincere or inaccurate with your details. Don't go and start making things up because you want to put things there. You understand? I'm sure if you look inwards, look at yourself everywhere, look at your trajectory, look at your history, there are so many things you can include in your CV. Why are you going to make things up? Then avoid including irrelevant information or qualifications as you overpass the read qualification or the read details in that CV. So don't go and pack too many things and don't put anything that is not relevant. Always tailor your CV for every job application you want. And the next is follow the requirements in the job application in submitting your application. Follow the requirements. How will they ask you to submit the application? That is the process to follow in submitting. You don't go and use any other process. Then where possible, ensure to follow up after submitting your application. There's a way to follow up, check in. Then be patient and stay tuned for other job openings. You understand? The recruitment process takes sometimes 3 months, sometimes 6 months. So once you can't submit your CV this week and the person that is calling next week. No, those things take time. So you have to be patient because a lot of you that are not patient, you submit an application today and expecting that tomorrow you receive an email by the end of the week. It doesn't work like that. The corporate system doesn't work like that. The person they want to replace you is going to leave in the next 6 months, assuming it is the replacement they are looking for. If it is a new role, they are taking their time to plan it. If it is something that is urgent, they are going to put it there that this is urgent, right? So if they did not put it that it is urgent, don't go and raise your hope too much, right? So that is very, very critical. Now, let's quickly look at cover letter. We talk about resume. Cover letter is a letter that covers the resume. That is why we call it cover letter. And when we say it covers your resume, it means that it's just, it's a brand, it's a branding document that communicates you, that communicates your expertise, that communicates your value, to the person. Just one page, not more than a page. So cover letter is a personal branding sales copy, that accompanies your resume when applying for a job. It highlights your core competence, skills, your experience, your enthusiasm, and interest in your position. In a sales manner, the employer cannot resist. You understand? So your if you are used to the idea of sales copy, for those of us in the content creation world or in digital marketing, we have what we call sales copy. If you are used to the idea of sales copy, that is what your cover letter is supposed to be. Your cover letter is supposed to be your sales copy. You understand? Now, okay, what are the types of cover letter? We have what we call the application cover letter. The application cover letter is the standard cover letter which usually accompanies your resume, you understand? And it serves as a sales copy, like I've mentioned, that spices up the resume and grabs attention, you understand? Then we have what we call the networking cover letter. The networking cover letter is that for cover letter you use in networking, using in building your network, also known as cold cover letter. Just like cold calling, it's used to reach potential employers expressing your interest and capacity to work for the organization if a vacancy opens. In networking cover letter or cold cover letter, there is no advert for the job, but you like the organization, you want to work with them. So you write the manager a cover letter, stating your interest in the organization, so that in case there is space for you, or in case there is a future opening. You see, many organizations employ sometimes I don't advertise it because we already have cold cover letters on ground. People that have already written to them that they are going to reach out. So if you have interest in a particular organization, it is a wise thing to do to submit a cold cover letter to the manager of that company, or to CEO, whoever that is in charge, letting the person know that you have interest in working with them. So that when there is opening, you will be among their first call, you understand? And then we have what we call the referral cover letter. Referral cover letters are letters that are given to you, cover letters are given to you by another person for the purpose of employment. It establishes the relationship between you and the referrer, and because it's assumed that connection, that network would help you. Now, what are the keys to writing a successful cover letter? Use a standard formal letter format, including header, contact, date, employer's address. Very, very important. Then number 2 is what? If possible, address the letter to a specific person with their proper name and title. If you know the hiring manager, address it to the person in person. The next is what you use bullet points. We have mentioned that earlier to make your points more clear. And then keep to one page, short paragraphs, and plenty of white space so you don't lose the reader. Very, very important. Don't go and pass so many paragraphs and put the data. Then proofread carefully for spelling and grammar errors and seek feedback from friends. Then lastly, use the professional and appropriate email address and attach the data as PDF file, right? So this is it about your resume and cover letter. Thank you very much for joining this session. I hope you have learned something. Please, we want to believe that what we have discussed in this workshop can help you begin to build your own CV and resume by yourself. So we encourage you to do that. If you want to learn more on resume and cover letter, we encourage you to take one of our courses, corporate profiling and job application. There you are going to see more details and learn more on what we have discussed. Thank you very much for joining this workshop. Drop your question in the comment section and we will be there to attend to you. Thank you.